Hi, I'm Pip Waller, being human, and this is a long-awaited video in my series about shamanic journey, about how to do shamanic journey to meet the spirits of plants, to connect with the spirits of plants. So it'd be helpful if you don't know anything else about journeying, if you first listen to my general intro about what is shamanic journey, and then listen to the journey for how to do a journey to the lower world, because it's traditional to journey to the lower world to meet with the spirit of a plant. So there's two parts to this meeting with spirits of the plant. The first part, you could say the whole thing could be called a plant study. That's what my teacher Elliot Cowan called it. I mean, probably it's called all sorts of things, but the first thing that you do is you go out and you spend time with a plant in nature, in its natural growing state. And it could be any plant, but generally it can work best if you've got access to it, to choose a plant or be chosen by a plant that is growing wild. It's chosen to grow where it's growing. Saying that, there's actually, you can do it with any plant, and sometimes you're in a city and all there is a park, and although there are always wild plants growing in a park as well, there's also plants that have become very established and very at home there, and then it absolutely makes sense to do it with them. But what we do is, in the spirit of exchange, which is a fundamental law of the universe, that everything is continually in exchange. So make an offering to the plant. Make sure you've got something that you can offer the plant. In Europe, in Northern Europe, where I live in England now, just across the border from Wales. So in this island, the traditional offering for plant spirits is oat seed or barley seed. Ideally, it's not porridge oats that have been, steamed and flattened, but it's the whole seed. So get yourself some of that oat groats or barley seed and make a little offering. When you go out, and you first got to find the plant. So it might be that there's one that's been waving at you from the hedgerows or out on your walk, and you just know, I've got to go and meet that. And if you can, you do it when the plant's flowering, because that's when it's most inviting. But otherwise, any time really, honestly, will do. And you need paper and pens and pencils and colours maybe, and you need something to sit on if you want to sit on the ground, and you need the right sort of clothes. So if you don't know what plant you're going to go for, but I've got a time, I've got a couple of hours here, I'm going to go and do a plant study, just go for a walk and allow yourself to be called, encouraged, invited by a plant. And that can happen in all sorts of ways. It might be that a plant just looks incredibly attractive and just pulls you in like that. Or it might be that a plant trips you up, or, whacks you in the face or something, So just pay attention to how nature wants to communicate with us in all sorts of ways. And if we're out looking for a plant, the plants know, and they'll be waiting to lure us in. Come and sit with me. So when you've picked on a plant, decided, okay, this is the plant, just go with it and introduce yourself. If you can, do it out loud. I'd say I'm Pip, and I really want to get to know you, and then make the little offering. Actually, literally drop your oats or barley seed at the base of the plant or by the plant. Actually, other offerings that are acceptable in the Americas, tobacco's the traditional offering, so you could offer that, or really you could offer anything that you've got that's important to your value. If you're out and if you're caught out, without any actual offerings, sometimes people give a little bit of water or even a bit of spit, or sometimes a bit of hair. But you say to the plant who you are and that you're here to get to know it, and then you spend a good amount of time, settle in, get comfy, maybe look at it from various different angles, look at who's growing near it, does it grow alone, does it have lots of friends, look at the space around it, and draw it. You don't have to do like a botanically correct drawing, although you might want to do that if that's one of your things. But draw it in the spirit of a child, just like not judging your drawing, just really going for it. You could do different sorts of drawings. You could try drawing with your non-dominant hand. I would try with my left hand because I'm right-handed, but if you're left-handed, try with your right hand. you could also try just drawing the energy of the plant, or whatever colours you imagine you might see or feel around it. So just play with that and draw. And then just paying attention to everything that you can notice about it. And it's quite good when you're out on a plant study to take a little plant ID book, or one of these apps. People have apps on their phone, don't they? You can just take a picture and the phone tells you what it is. Amazing, the world we live in now. Anyway, if you can ascertain that it's not poisonous, then and if you ask the plant, can I pick a little bit of you? And if you get a feeling of yes, then if you get a feeling of no, don't do it. If you get a feeling of yes, pick a little bit, and you've made sure it's not poisonous, then you could taste it a little bit. Otherwise, just, keep it by you. And when you've done all your sort of cognitive stuff, looking and thinking and paying attention and drawing and so on, and you can note down words that come to you as well, things about your experience, then you're going to sort of settle in and have a bit of a daydream with the plant. Just really have a daydream. What we say is that your intention is, or what you're longing to do is to enter the dream of nature with that plant, to enter the dream of that plant. So it don't matter if you fall asleep, just go into a bit of a reverie, a bit of a daydream. And then you might spend half an hour, 3/4 an hour longer with a plant. But when you've come to the end of it, make a few notes of anything you experienced, and then thanking the plant. Then you get yourself to a place where you can do the shamanic journey. You can do it outside as long as you're going to be able to be uninterrupted, because you need to be somewhere where you can be completely uninterrupted, where you can totally let go. And so then you're going to perhaps get home, or maybe sometimes I do it in my car, depending, where I am, how far away I am. And so if I can't do it outside, or I'll just come home. And then you settle yourself in to do the shamanic journey, a drum journey to the lower world. So you'll have perhaps you'll be drumming for yourself, or you can use my video, the 10-minute journey, or you can find recordings of, drumming for shamanic journey all over the place. But get your drumming thing set up, and then your intention, which remember you'll say 3 times out loud, I'm going to the lower world to meet with the spirit of whatever that plant is. Today, this is the first video I've made for years on this channel, and I was inspired by the blackthorn, which is absolutely in full blossom. So I'm going to imagine I'm doing a journey to blackthorn. So, I'm going to the lower world to meet with the spirit of blackthorn. I'm going to the lower world to meet with the spirit of blackthorn. I'm going to the lower world to meet with the spirit of blackthorn. That'd be your intention. And then you go down the tunnel and you get to the lower world. And the thing to do is that when you get there, you want to look around for the plant growing. If you've already done a journey and you've met a power animal, you could ask your power animal to help you, take me to the blackthorn. Or, you're not doing blackthorn, you're doing whatever you're doing. And every time, I've done hundreds of these, when you get into it, there's so many plants to get to know. But whatever the plant is, you're going to go and find that growing in the lower world. And then you look around and you be open to, and you say, I really want to meet the spirit of this plant, and please appear to me in a way that I can communicate with. And then just be open. The plant might come in any kind of form. It might come as in like a human form, or like a little fairy, or it might be some sort of animal form, or it might appear just as colour or shape or sound. Or sometimes people just experience, there's the plant growing, but they experience this big communication with it. And you just talk to the plant. Those of us that are plant spirit medicine healers, or that are looking for healing allies to help, we often ask, can you share with me, what medicine have you got that you would allow me to call on to help my people? Or if you're not interested in that, you just I just want to get to know you, there you are, you're so beautiful, you're in my world, and just see what happens, like you do with a journey. You've got your intention, and you've got your few things you do deliberately, and then you let the whole journey unfold. And then the callback will happen at the end of the drumming, and you go, I've got to go back. And it's good to not come back before the callback. It's really good, because sometimes something really important happens at the end, near the end. So then you're going to thank the plant, and some people like to say, is there anything you'd like me to do for you? But you don't have to do that. And bear in mind that if you do say that and the plant asks you to do something, you kind of need to do it, because otherwise you become a bit unreliable. And if you're looking for allies, like that, you know, you don't want to be flaky right away, like saying you do something for someone and then not doing it. So, but you might like to. Is there anything you'd like me to do for you? And then you come back really fast, as in the instructions on how to do a journey. So I hope that's helpful and that you're inspired. And I look forward to hearing, hopefully, comments about this. And I am intending, I've got a whole list of videos that I want to make, but for various reasons, I just kind of got off the track of making them. But I am intending to start again. So thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe and all that stuff, and share. And this is Pip Waller, being human.